Hi, today we're going to talk about when a fixed rate mortgage is really not fixed. My name is Chris Costa, and I am the owner of Costa Financial. And what we're going to walk through is my actual numbers on how a fixed rate mortgage, the actual payment that you make every month, will increase over time due to property taxes and insurance, and why you need to budget for these things. We're looking here at the amortization schedule of my loan. You can see all the months here. I hit several rows of data, a lot of rows of data. At the end, you can see the last few months of what my payments would be, so that you can see over time I'll actually pay, if I make no extra payments and hold the loan for the whole 30 years, $205,000 in interest to pay off the $285,000 loan for almost $500,000 of total payment over time. Remember this number though, the right here with the interest and payment total, the $1,362. Property taxes in South Texas, in the Houston metro area, has multiple entities that can charge property tax to you. There's the county taxes, utility districts, which are named MUD for a municipal utility district, which is basically just the water, and the school systems can all charge taxes towards your property. In Virginia, where I owned previous properties, it was more straightforward. There was just one county tax. Virginia also did charge an income tax. Texas does not. So keep that in mind, that there's a balance there of getting payments through income and property in Virginia versus just property in Texas. In the Texas scenario, you can see that the MUD district, I started in 2018 with a full year of the mortgage, $4,200 almost. Now I'm at $5,600. And that is a huge increase over time. The school district, it fluctuates over time. Part of that is due to various legislations and what they, in Texas, we call homestead exemption, where you get to exempt a portion of your property valuation from the school districts. Then we have a emergency service fund, a drainage fund, and a general fund. Total, the first full year that I owned this home, it was $9,400. Now we're looking at $10,950. That's a big jump in just a few years. On top of that, if we look at homeowners insurance, I was paying $1,800 the first full year, and now I'm at last year I paid $4,400. This year I'm going to pay $6,000. And I have changed insurance companies. I've done umbrella policies where I combine auto and home together to get some savings, and it is still just increasing like crazy. Total, this year I'm looking at, or this prior year, not looking at, I did pay $15,431 in property taxes and insurance. On a monthly basis, that is almost $1,300. So I'm approaching parity now very soon with my monthly mortgage that I send to Chase every month, $1,362. My total payment now is $2,648. It is, for this prior year, that's 48.56% of my total payment that I send to Chase. It's just in property tax and insurance. Graphically, you can see this. The orange bar is just the principal and interest that I send to Chase every single month, and it'll be that way for the whole 30 years. But you can see this gradual increase, and actually more of a sharp increase these past few years, in the property tax and insurance portion of the payment. So what can you do? Well, one thing that you definitely need to do is to start analyzing the data similar to how I did, and seeing how much of a percentage increase is happening every year, and budget for that. You have to do that, or else your budget is not going to hold. The other thing that you should do is you should be very vocal in questioning what your local localities are doing with your property tax money. It is a large portion of your income that is going to these entities, and you have every right to question, why is it increasing again? Why is this happening? Is it because of wages? Is it because of operating costs? I need to know. Are there ways that we can reduce these? For South Texas and in the Houston area, we're very flat elevation wise, and it is expensive to operate water systems. Most of the water in the counties come from groundwater, so there's the pumping of that versus surface water. And because we have no elevation, we can't take advantage of gravity for pressurization of water, for the removal of stormwater and wastewater to be treated at the water treatment plants. That's added expenses. I understand that, but it is very expensive. And how are we going to move in the future? We're not that far away from Galveston, from Houston Bay. Are there ways that we can transport surface water that's treated to these localities? The population is expected to double in the Houston metro area. We're the fourth largest populated area in the United States. It's supposed to double by 2050. That's a lot of water resources that need to be planned for in the future. So how is that going to happen? The one other thing that it may not be popular to discuss, but nonprofits pay no property taxes, and we have large medical centers in the Houston metro area. For instance, the medical center just in downtown Houston is larger than the inner loop of Chicago. Again, the footprint of the medical center in Houston downtown is larger than the inner loop of Chicago, and there's multiple of those campuses all throughout the Houston metro area, and they pay no property tax, but they use a lot of water. I think there needs to be some discussion on, can they start paying at least a portion of their fair share, basically, of property tax towards at least the water treatment and fresh water systems in the metro area. I know that part of the reason why they're a nonprofit is to funnel their money back into their system, but they have a humongous organization now that is internationally renowned, international travel just for medical treatments, and it's really impacting the local community. So perhaps paying that will ease some of this burden that's being shouldered by the local community here. Anyway, that is a snapshot. It's a big topic in 2026 throughout the nation about property taxes and mortgage availability and affordability, and at least this snapshot in the Houston metro area. If there's anything I can do to help with your personal finances, I do have a business. It's costoffinancial.com. You can go on there, schedule a 1-hour free consultation that we get to know each other and see if we can work with each other on helping you build better financial responsibilities and behaviors. Love for you to check out the website. Give me feedback. I'd like to know what your thoughts are. Thank you for listening. Have a good day.